Details are still emerging over how the actor Alec Baldwin accidentally shot dead the cinematographer Halyna Hutchins on a movie set. But the tragedy has raised wider questions about the use of guns in the film industry.
Well, let's talk some more about this now with the actor and Hollywood stuntman Nicholas Daines, who's in our London newsroom. Nicholas, good morning to you.
Good morning.
What do you make of what's happened? We've been talking about it for a couple of days, but still many people finding it astonishing that something like that could happen.
Well, first and foremost, this is a terrible tragedy, and heartfelt condolences go out to the family of Miss Hutchins. And I'm sure that this accident is being felt by the film industry around the world. Obviously, I can't comment or speculate on what happened on the set of Rust in New Mexico until a full investigation is completed by the Sheriff's Office. But in my 25 years experience as a stunt performer and stunt coordinator, these instances are incredibly rare, and there are strict protocols to adhere to, especially in this country.
What are the rules around guns on film sets? You're an expert here. For those of us who heard this story, heard what had happened, obviously shock was the main reaction, but you've been saying how strict everything is around guns on film sets. So what rules should have been in place?
Well, here in the UK, we have very strict safety protocols in place before you even get a gun in your hand on set. And we work with dedicated, specialised armourers who comprehensively train talent in the use of firearms. And this protocol will start with having to sign your weapon in and out. You're given full operational instruction as to what weapon you're using and how to use it. You're given time with the weapon to familiarise yourself with it and to practice with it, and what to do if the gun jams or if there is blockage during a take. Now, these dedicated armourers are very visual, and they're on set, and they're constantly assessing who's got what weapon and if they need additional training. Now, these firearms are only set to go off seconds before we do a take, and if a cold weapon, that's a new weapon that's brought in due to a change, is brought into an actor or performer, the armourer will show the performer that it is clear, and they will get you to acknowledge that the weapon is in fact safe and clear, and that you know how to use it, and they've given you full operational instructions to do that. Now, as far as firing our firearms on set goes, you will never aim directly at somebody on set, an individual. You will always aim off to the side, and we use camera angles to create that illusion. And the armourer will come over on cut to actually physically take the weapon from you, clear it himself, and shout "weapon clear" on set. So there are lots of guidelines here in this country that make it very safe, and we've got a good safety record.
And you talked there about camera angles and a bit of camera trickery maybe to make sure it's not pointed directly at anyone. Many people will find it astonishing that in the age of CGI and some of the special effects that can be added in relatively simply now, that you still need to have a weapon that has a kick and has a gun explosion, things like that. Why is that still needed?
Well, obviously, blanks on set create realism. I mean, you're going to get a loud bang, recoil, and a muzzle flash, which is a visible light due to the combustion of powder. But it really depends on what production it is. A lot of fantasy movies will heavily use CGI for those kind of effects. But it really does create realism in movies, and prop guns can range from non-functional weapons to cap guns, and they usually are real weapons that are adapted to firing blanks on set.
Is there anything that can be done? I mean, this does seem like a tragic accident. There's all kinds of allegations about gun safety on the set, but what would you briefly say would help to make using guns on film sets more safe?
Well, hopefully from this accident there will be good communication and transparency so that we can really learn what happened in this terrible tragedy, and we can always use that to move forward. We need to use these dedicated specialist armourers on set. They are a fantastic asset to the film industry in this country, and that's why we have such a good track record. And also using very competent professional performers. We have the British Stunt Register in this country, which supplies these professionals to the film and television industry, and many of them have military backgrounds and are very well versed in using firearms on set.
Okay, Nicholas Daines, a stunt coordinator and stuntman, thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us this morning.
Pleasure.
It really is incredible, isn't it, how something like that could happen. But as Nicholas was saying there, maybe potentially bringing about a change in the rules as a result as that investigation continues.
You're watching Breakfast. We are on the BBC News channel until 9 o'clock this morning.
But this is the point we say goodbye to viewers on BBC One. Thanks for your company. We'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.